Hey everyone, welcome to another Webflow workshop. I'm your host Nelson. Big day. I think everyone has heard the news, saw it on Twitter, saw it on I think Forbes, the Next Web, also our Facebook page, the forums. I mean, we announced it everywhere, and including on emails and stuff. What is it? What is it that we're so excited about today? If you haven't heard, Interactions 2.0 is live for everyone. We're out of closed beta, and you can start playing with it right now. And to everyone who's in the live chat room right now, thank you for holding back and spending some time with me and the rest of the community. You can play with Interactions 2 and start making the web come back to life. Now, if this is your first time to a Webflow workshop live stream, this stream happens every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, and we do all sorts of things like rebuilds of popular web pages, or we talk about future and upcoming, future product release, future feature releases, like Interactions 2 when it was in closed beta. We also, we do all sorts of stuff. Also, we started a Friday community stream on our Twitch channel that happens every Friday at 10 a.m. It's at twitch.tv/webflowapp. So on there, we do like some sort of we do some interviews with the rest of the community. If the community has done stuff that they want to show off and teach the rest of the community how to do, we do that too. So yeah, 2 streams every week. And since today is all about Interactions 2.0, we first got to go to what our lead designer Ryan has built. And if you haven't seen it yet, oh man, let me show it on the screen. And let me take myself off because this is just too epic. Let me refresh this real quick. Man, this is nostalgia. It brings back so many memories. Interactions 2.0. And again, Ryan did this with Interactions 2.0 without coding. It's amazing what you can do. And I'm going to try next week to get Ryan on the stream, and we'll just go ahead and do like an AMA type of thing for you guys to ask him questions about how he did this, what has he learned, or what's his process. So yeah, let's scroll down together and just experience this. So as I scroll down, this scroll down message spins at the same time. And he also did like an 8-bit GIF of our W logo. Oh man. And so yeah, a lot of great things like as you scroll, play with the scale as well as that background div scale, and this is 3D interactions too. Like this, you can play around with this too with moving your mouse inside of this div. It's amazing. And then changing colors. That's a thing in Interactions 2.0. If you notice, the background color changes as well as I scroll down. Oh wait, I'm not on that one. I guess on the next row. But these are 3D as well? I mean, man, I remember GeoCities. That's where I started. I don't know about you guys. And then Netscape, man. Oh, Netscape. Miss you. And then we get the birth of the blog. And then Dreamweaver. I think we've all been there. And hey, it's the first Flappy Bird. Anyone remember this one? Because of Flash? Oh, I remember Flash. And then Hello Mobile, so long Flash. And so this is all live type. He actually copy-pasted all this in. I think this is a rich text block, this whole thing here. But this is the part that's so amazing. When you scroll down, it changes to the different phones. So that's the iPhone, 1, Classic, whatever you want to call it. And then this is like the 4, I think. And then responsive inside of a responsive site. Inception. Amazing. All right, and as we scroll down even more, if you haven't noticed, there's a timeline right here at the bottom. And that's a scroll effect too. As I scroll, it goes down to the next years. This is a scroll effect. And this is just our story of telling people, like, templates are all the same. But now with Webflow, you can take a template or start from scratch and do something completely crazy with it. All right. And now we get to 2017, and here we are with Interactions 2.0. And then a great quote by Tim Berners-Lee. The goal of the web is to serve humanity. We build it now so that those who come to it later will be able to create things that we cannot ourselves imagine. So yes, build the unimaginable together. It's a beautiful story, and hearts in the chat for Ryan building this awesome launch page. And yeah, I know I've said it in the past, don't Michael Bay your site. But basically, this is Michael Baying your page, but in a very tasteful way. It helps drive the point of what Interactions 2.0 is capable of. But yeah, it's intense. It is intense. So thank you, Ryan, and the marketing team for building that. Whew. So awesome. All right. So what are we going to be doing today? So today we're going to do an overview of IX2. We already have at university.webflow.com, we already have some Interactions 2.0 videos made by our education team. And just like the videos you've seen in the past, it's the same team that we got to help do the video recordings and the voiceovers, and there's still some humor in it, so it's easy to learn with them. And so check that out after the stream. All right. Oh yeah, one more last announcement. Thank you, Andrew. Since everyone has Interactions 2.0 access, start learning, start building, start experimenting, do something crazy. I want to see what you can build with this new power that you have, and enter it at ix2entry.webflow.io, and 4 people will get free Webflow membership for a certain amount of time. I'm thinking 6 months. So if you already have an account, I'll give you 6 months, and then for other people, we'll also send a swag box with like Webflow shirts and stickers. So yeah, enter it now. Let's see here. Okay, cool. Okay, so what are we doing today? Let me show you. Go right here. So last night and this morning, I just made something crazy. I've always wanted to make some sort of Iron Man space type HUD on Webflow, and I remember when 3D interactions wasn't a thing, but I still tried to code it in somehow into Webflow. But now with Interactions 2 and 3D transforms, I don't have to code, and I can still get my designs going. Now, this isn't really like a practical site that you would do all these effects on, but I just want to show you how fun it is to learn, okay? Now, just FYI, I haven't practiced any of these. I know how to use Interactions 2 already, but this is just some new stuff, and we're going to go through each of the interactions with you, okay? So these are all the new ones, and if you look at the top right, you still have access to the old Interactions 1, but we're going to focus on Interactions 2, obviously, okay? All right, so hold on real quick. All right, so we're ready to go. So first thing, let's go here and let's do the page interaction. So page interactions, you're already used to Interactions 1 where you have page load effects, okay? And while you're scrolling the page, okay? We've done those type of things before. But now you also have mouse move in viewport, meaning like if your mouse is on this side of the page or on this side of the page or above or below, you can do animations. As well as this is used for parallax scrolling effects, okay? That's where, for example, let me go scroll all the way back up. That's where that simple thing where you just scale from 1 to like 100 or something with that World Wide Web. All right, that's just simple page scrolling. So first one, let's go with page load. All right, and when I set a page load trigger, so what happens when the page starts loading? So this is something you can use for like a preloader. Okay, so let me go ahead and make a preloader real quick. Let me set this up. Let me add a div block on top of everything. Okay, and I'll call it preloader. And I'll set the flex to center, and make this fixed, and make this on top of everything. Okay, and let's go ahead and make the background black. Cool. And then let's go ahead and make a circle real quick. Preloader circle. 50%. And let's give it a border of like 3. Make this 75. Oops, I didn't put my color. It's black. Let's use that. And this one, let's go ahead and set it to relative because I want to put a dot inside of this. So let me make another circle, preloader, dot, and put that to the top right, and make this something like 1010. There you go, 50%. Okay, so I've made a dot. Let's move it. Let's move it on top of the. There you go. All right, so pretend that's like our basic preloader, okay? So right here on the page load, start an animation, okay? And now I'm gonna press the plus sign to make a timed animation. And now this is our timeline. In IX1, in Interactions 1, you had to visualize your multi-step animations and making sure that you use the delay timer. So it kind of made things confusing, but now with live previews and time interactions, it's not that difficult. So let's call this preloader. And I'm going to click on this preloader circle, press the plus sign, and rotate this. And let's see here. Its initial state. Let's go ahead and start it at 0 degrees on the Z. And then let's rotate again. Let's make it take 1 second. And this is going to be 180. And I think that's all you need to do. If I press play, and I think it goes, oh, I need to add a third one. Let's add move to 3. Another second to do 360. Let's see what happens. Oop, maybe it should do 180. Oh, that's on the move. My bad. Let's delete that. Rotate. There we go. Cool, and now if I click out, I can also go back to the page load and click on loop and preview it. And there we go. I guess that's, maybe I don't need this. Let's see. Something like that. You know what I'm trying for. Oh, live demos. Let's just go ahead and add that rotate one more time. I'm probably doing something wrong. 360. And let's just go back to 0. 1 second, 1 second, and it should do this. So, yeah. Something like that. Okay, so preloader, that's simple, okay? You just make your timed actions and you're done. So you have a preloader. But what happens when the page is done loading? So what you can do is press the plus sign right here, page load again. Well, actually, no, sorry. Take the same page load. So this is what happens when the page starts loading, as it says here. Now what happens when the page finishes loading? Start an animation, create a new thing, and I'm going to select preloader, this whole div right here. Oh, come back here. I wanted to rename this. Close preloader. And what it does is, let's make the opacity, actually no, let's just move the whole thing up. Okay, and we'll set the initial state as 0%. Okay, and if here, by the way, we added more value or more units here. So you got your pixels, percent, M, rem, VH, VW here. So that's new. And let's see here, move, and I'm gonna wait 1 second and then move it -100%. So it slides up to reveal this HUD, okay? So it does this, wait 1 second and then move up. Okay, so if I preview this, there we go. It's like we're getting into a spaceship. Pretty cool. Now, that's how you do a preloader. Let's turn this off for now. Set the display to none, and let's get into some other preloader stuff. I mean, page load stuff. So you may have seen on websites like this one. Let's go back here. You may have seen where when the page is done loading, animations happen. That was simple in IX1, but if you wanted to do different timings with different elements, it would be tough because you would have to call out each element by class name. Well, now in IX2, you just have to click on the element. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's see, is these clickable? Yeah, they are. All right. Nope, those are lines. Actually, let's put the lines under the HUD so I can click on it. No. Okay, let's go back here. So I'm on page load, and I can add to these if I want. I can add to these animations. So when the page finishes loading, let's call this intro load. Okay, so the preloader waits 1 second and then does its thing and moves away. And now I can, let's go ahead and click on this HUD right here. Go back to my page load and add a move. And I'm gonna set this to be in the same 1 second spot. And this will be its initial, it'll be its initial state, and its initial state will be -100% because I want it to be outside of the canvas. And then I want it to move after the preloader, okay? So after the preloader goes up, I want it to move down to 0%. And so it'll do this. Wait for 1 second and then move down. Okay? And now we can do the same thing with our bottom HUD. Go there, page load, intro load. And since I'm already selected on the bottom HUD, I just do the same thing. I'm going to set its initial state to 100% positive so it can move down past the canvas, and then move it again to here on the 150, 1.5 seconds, I mean, 0%, and now we have both of them coming in. Okay, and let's do something with the lines. Do the same thing. Get back in here. Now, what are the lines going to do? Okay, the lines, it can scale. So its initial state, it'll scale 10. It's going to be huge, okay? And then after those two come in, okay, after those, actually at the same time, but set a small delay, like 0.25, and it's going to scale back down to 1. So as you can see, we're just putting the puzzle pieces in. Whoa, that went too fast. Let's give it 1 second duration. Whoa. Actually, let's go here. Let's sit. What happens if I do that? Oh, okay. I see. I see. It goes so fast. Maybe it should be on its own after previous action. 0 delay. Yeah, so I'm basically coding CSS transforms and JavaScript without having to do it. You know, everything's all visual. Oh, because the scale is so big. All right, let's make it smaller. That's why. All right, 3. All right, cool. So that should be easier. I mean, that should be slower. Ugh, too slow. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. All right. So this, you know, whatever you want to do with all your layers. Let's get more funky with this. And this part right here, this HUD could load as well. So I'm just adding on top of things, on top of things, on top of things. And let's just scale it down to... Whoa. Let's see, will that mess with my rotate as well? I think so, because I have 3D transforms on there right now. Let's see here. Maybe I can scale these down instead. Scale. Okay, cool. I can scale these. So let's scale it down to like 0.1, and that's just initial state, and then scale it back up after the HUD comes in. What is this doing? Nope. Okay. Scale that back up to like 1. Or like that. Yeah. So as you can see, you can just keep playing and playing and playing until, you know, you get something crazy. One more thing I want to do, and then we'll move on to other things. I think it's the dot wrapper. Let's see here. Rotate. I think it's the Z. Yep, it's the Z. So we're going to do 0 degrees at first. And this is initial state. And then I'm going to do... Let's do rotate. There it goes. Rotate at the end. And it takes like 5 seconds to do because it's really slow. And it'll go like 180. So it'll go on the other side. So something like a radar or something. I don't know. You can just do some crazy stuff with it. Oh, my... Here we go. Let me take myself off real quick. All right. So yeah, as you can see, you can have so much fun with this. You can go nuts. Go crazy. All right? And I want you guys to go crazy with it because, you know, when you experiment with the web and you build something crazy, you'll learn a couple of things along the way that you can use on your current projects. But you're still pushing the limits of what the web can do so that when it comes time that technology catches up or design styles and trends, then you're already ready for that. All right? So play around with 3D stuff, play around with interactions, do it. All right, so we've done some page load stuff, right? Let's go ahead and do, what's next? Mouse move and viewport. All right, this is cool. So what happens on the mouse move is, let me show you real quick. I'm going to add a mouse move trigger. It's going to play animation. So you have two things to play around with. Mouse X and mouse Y. So 0% of mouse X is the X-axis, and it's on the very left side. 100% is on the very right. And then same with the Y, 0% is up here, and 100% is down here at the bottom. Okay, so what happens when you move the mouse around? So moving lines. I'm going to call it moving lines, and let's select our lines element. Go back to our mouse move, and I'm going to, let's go ahead and set a move. When it's 0%, when the mouse is all the way to the left, let's move it, let's say something crazy like 100 pixels. No. Yeah, 50 would be better. All right, and then positive 50 on the other side. Okay, so it's like following my mouse. And then let's do the same thing with the Y. So we're going to do negative 50 and positive 50 on the Y. And if I do a live preview, there we go. That's it. So put them all together. Actually, let me turn on my preloader real quick. Right there. So if we put them all together, load, and move around. No, we don't have sound effects yet, but that's what you're supposed to add on your own. Okay, I'm done. All right. So that's mouse movement. Super simple? Yes? Yes. All right. So we have page load, mouse move. We'll do page scroll later. Actually, let's see here. Can I? So this is what happens when the page is scrolled up and down. So let's do something. When the page is scrolled up, let's make these 3 bars come to life. Okay? So when page is scrolled up, start an animation. And we'll call this blue bars. Let's go ahead and get my blue bars right here. Right here. Okay. Page scrolled, blue bars. Back on it. So what happens with these blue bars? Move. Let's rotate it. Why? Yeah, something like that. Or can I do it on the HUD? Let's delete this. I hope I don't mess with the HUD styles. Okay. Rotate. Oh yeah, okay. So let's start here. Hold on. Oh man. I'm gonna have to play around with this a bit. So maybe not on the HUD, but on the bars. Let me fix the style real quick. Bar. I need to set a transform origin real quick. Where are you? Set the transform origin to there. So that way when I turn it, because if I want to turn it on the Y, there you go. See? If I'm turning it on the Y, I want it to do like a door effect. Alright, so let's delete. Nope. Delete that one. Okay, so back on my... back on these bars real quick. So when the page is scrolled, rotate. So its initial state is... initial state is 0. And then I'm going to rotate again. That, say 70. Cool. So it looks like this. And now I want them to happen at different timings. So it's like 1, 2, 3 staggered effect. So let's get the next one. Page scrolled, blue bars, add a rotate, and that's its initial state is 0. And then do another rotate. And this happens, say at the same time, but a small delay of 0.25. And let's, I forgot the number. What was the number? Oh yeah, 70. There you go. And let's do it one more time for this bar. Going back to my interaction. Rotate. Set initial state as 0. Add another rotate. And the delay is going to be, let's put it with these guys right here, and then delay is going to be 0.5 and -70. Let's see what it looks like. Maybe the animation could be faster. So I can click on one, hold shift, and click on the last one to select all three. And let's make the duration 0.25. Nope. Let's just make it 0.1. I think it's the delay. Yeah. The delay should be like 0.2. Oh, they happen at the same time. No. So this one is no delay. 0 delay. 0. This one is 0.2, and this one should be 0.4. I did in the wrong order. Let's see here. 0.2. So this should be 0.4. And that one should be 0.2, so it does something like that. Alright, so let's see it happen. So the preloader goes away, those come in, we can play around, and I scroll down with my mouse, and nothing happens. Oh, there it goes. Not sure if you saw it. Let's see it again. But yeah, so the on scroll, there it goes. The on scroll is really good for like for nav bars. You know, for example, if you want to show the nav bar, and then as someone scrolls down, the nav bar goes away, and then when you scroll back up, it comes back. I think I did it backwards. Hold on. Page scrolled. Oh, when it's scrolled up. Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and delete this when scrolled up, because it should be on a scroll down. So I'm going to press select action, so I remove that, start animation, blue bars. There it goes. So now when I scroll down, watch the blue bars. There you go. And so when I scroll up, you know, I can make it do the opposites thing. Okay? All right. What else? What else can we do? Hold on real quick. All right. So we did this. Now, while page is scrolling, we can go ahead and do that. So I have another HUD right here. So we have the blue HUD, and then we have the red one right here. So as the page is scrolling, what I want to do is these lines go away. Okay, they will make it zoom back in and do opacity 0. At the same time, this center one will be zoomed out in opacity 0 and then come in as I scroll. Okay. JG Hunter is saying, explain how you fix that mess up. Okay, I'll go back to it. So, where I messed up is, let me show you real quick. So where I messed up is that when I was scrolling down, I was expecting the animation to happen, but I had that interaction set for when scrolled up. So that's why I got confused. So to remove an interaction, I just click on this drop down and then select action. It's removed, and so I go to when scroll down, start animation, select blue bars, and there we go. All right, so that's how I was able to fix that one. All right, next, let's go back to it. Let me close this. So as I'm scrolling down, let's make the lines disappear. So I'm selected on lines. Go to interactions while page is scrolling. Play scroll animation, and we'll call this scrolling animation. Super simple. I'm going to press the plus sign here, and what's going to happen? The scale, all right, at 0%. So we're at 0% right now. We're going to have it as 1. Okay? And at 100%, when we get to the very bottom of the page, it should scale up. Am I scaling it right? Yeah. It should scale up to 3. All right? Now, if we do a live preview and scroll down, it's already happening. As simple as that. Okay, but I want that to happen faster, so I can actually drag this or set the keyframe right here. Let's say 60%. We do a live preview. Now it happens faster before it gets to the center graphic. I forgot what it's called. Right. And now let's go ahead and play around with that center. So I'm going to click on the center. And I'm going to press the plus sign and move. Now, what happens when we're at the very top of the page? So this move should, let's push it down a bit. Somewhere like that. Not 500. Let's get crazy with it. No, not too crazy. All right. And then at 100%, it should be back to 0. And so it does this. Right? That really doesn't make a difference. Maybe I should just try scale instead. Yeah, let me just do scale on that center. Alright, so let's click center. Let's do scale instead. Let's scale it down to something super small, 0.1. And then at 100%, not move. At 100% scale, at 100% of the scroll, we're going to scale it to 1. Okay? And let's go ahead and play around with the opacity. I'm going to go back here, and at 0, we're going to set the opacity to 0. And then set another opacity for the 100% to 100%. And now we get this. Let's go up again. So it grows. And there you go. And that's just the basics of parallax. Parallax is just different elements doing different things at the same scroll, with the same scroll animation, right? But in this example, I'm just showing you how to do simple things like scale and opacity. But for movement on the, usually people do parallax scrolling on the y-axis and just things are moving up at different speeds. That is now possible, and this is just the basics of it, you know? You can do move or whatever you want. Alright? So that's fun. And yes, I'm going to give you guys, let you guys clone this after the stream, and I want you to go nuts with it. Do more things with it. Whatever you want. I want to see you guys make our minds blown. Okay, we want to see what you do with this. All right, so that's that. All right, what else? Okay, next we're gonna play around with on selected elements. So this is what happens when an element is clicked on, hovered, or you can mouse over an element and make it follow your mouse, kind of like what we did with the lines, where it follows the mouse, but this is only while the mouse is inside of that element, okay? And then we'll do scroll into view. So if you've used Interactions 1, we had a thing called scroll interactions. Well, now we're calling it scroll into view, because when you get into view of that element, when the viewport gets to that element and it's in view, do some animation. And then while scrolling in view. So this is different than the page scroll. This is while you're scrolling and the element is in view. Okay? All right, let's keep going. So mouse click, I think that's super simple. Let's do a mouse click on, oops, turn that off. Okay, let's do a mouse click on this. So if I click on this blue HUD thingy, what should we do? Let's make it go away, make it expand. Let's see here. What about on this one? Let me see. What is it doing right now? That one grows bigger. Okay. So if this grows bigger, let's go ahead and if I click on this, so just like the old Interactions one, you have the options for a toggle click, a first click and a second click. So this first click, let's make it do something. Blue circle. And let's make it move. Let's make it move up. We'll make it move up and away. There you go. Up. And scale down to something small. And also make the opacity 50%. Alright, so just do that thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and play around with it. Let's see what happens. So loads. And also, let's go ahead and do our second click. So that's first click. On the second click, start animation. And this blue circle, let's add another one. We'll call it Blue Circle 2. Now let's go ahead and move it back down. Like that. And then also the opacity should go 100%. And the scale should be back to 1. Let's go 0.75. And so there we go. We have our 2 clicks. So let's let it load. Grows. Click. Click. Pretty cool. Yeah. So that's click. Super simple. Sound effects are not matching the animations, Nelson. Here. Blue. 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 You're welcome. You're welcome, TJ. All right, so we have our clicks. Super simple, yes. All right, let's keep moving. What else can we do? So we have the clicks. We have the hovers, so that's a simple thing. Let's go ahead and do a hover effect. What can we do? Let's see here. Oh, okay. Let's try that. On the wrapper right here, I'm going to set a hover. On hover, we can start an animation. Wrapper color. And I know you can do this with the styles panel, but I'm showing you how to do it with interactions because you can do a little bit more. Let's go with background color. So the initial state of the background is going to be transparent. And then as I hover, I'm going to change the background color to something blue, like this. There you go. So something like that, just for fun. So it'll look like this. Okay, so if I preview, I'm not hovering, but if I hover, it turns blue. And now I need to set a hover out. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna click on wrapper. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, if you have an interaction set on a certain element, we put a lightning bolt. So that's something that was highly requested. And there you go. Let's go ahead and hover out, start the animation, and this will be wrapper hover out. And you know, this is just super simple. Background color. We'll just set it back to transparent, and there you go. Super simple. Let's preview it. So I'm hovering, not hovering, hovering, not hovering. Super simple. Yep. That's it. All right. Okay. Let's keep going. What else do we have? Let me select something real quick. All right. So mouse move over element. All right. So this is cool. what should we do with this? So this is the same thing as we did with the lines. I can set it to the lines if I want. For the mouse movement on the X and Y. Or let's do something else. Let's do it on the center. Okay, yeah, right here. This one right here. Let's do it on that. Now if I do mouse movement over element, okay? So what happens is this becomes the X 0% and this is X 100%. This is Y 0, Y 100. Okay, so this is different than the whole viewport, than the whole the page interaction. Okay, so I'm gonna play mouse animation, moving target, and so when I get to here, we'll move it up a bit, say 25 pixels, and then move it down 25 pixels. Oh wait, that's the X. Let me fix that. 25, positive 25, and then the Y is the same thing. Now if I live preview, see how I'm moving in, if I'm moving in other areas of the page, nothing happens, okay? But if I move inside of here, see how it sticks back to its original spot? Okay, so that's the difference between those two. Whereas right here, okay, it's the whole page. And this one, it's just that. Right? Does that make sense? What else can we do? Oh, let's play. Can I rotate these too? Let's see here. Can I rotate this? Actually, let me... Oh, it's 10:48. Oh my gosh. I've been having too much fun. All right, so usually in the middle of my stream of the streams, I take questions and site QA. So if you have a webflow.io link that you're working on right now, please put them in the live chat room right now, and we'll all look at your work together so we can all learn from each other. Or if you have a question, put that in the live chat room right now, and I will start answering it. So let me do one more interaction while we're waiting for those questions and links, and we'll keep going. Luke says, insert tiny moon. Have Ben say it's no moon. Make moon grow slowly over time. Have solo be doubtful. Make screen start to wobble, tractor beam. That is all possible with interactions too, Luke. I would love to see you do that. Alright, so let's see here. So we did the mouse moving and scroll into view. Scroll into view. So let's do this. When this gets into view, it shows up. Okay, so let's add a scroll into view here, and we'll start an animation in red circle. And let's move this as an initial state. Oh, I lost its, it loses its, I don't want that. It loses its 3D-ness. Let's do it to red inner circle. See what happens. Add a scroll into view. Start animation. Red circle. Move. Cool. So I wanted to do this. Alright. So let's go negative 100 because I like even numbers as its initial state. And we'll also set an opacity in its initial state as 0. And then when you scroll into view, let's wait a second, 1 second, and set the Z to something like negative 30, and the opacity as well to 100. So it should look like this. Wait, where'd you go? Oh, because it resets it back. All right. So she showed that, but also, wait. So that's what happens when you scroll into view. So let's go ahead and try that. Scroll down. Oh, see, you came in. I'll show you one more time. There you go. Cool. Last thing, because I want to. Let's on the selected element. Let's also add a let's add a loop. See what happens. Does it go back? Let's see here. Huh. Okay. Well, gotta keep playing with it. All right. I see a lot of questions. Oh, let's see here. I see 2 questions, but no links. Yeah, so go ahead and post your webflow.io link if you're working on something. And if you have any questions about Interactions 2, Webflow in general, web design in general, let us know in the live chat room right now. So I see 2 questions from Gutsla. Is it possible to replicate the full page.js effect in IX2? Also, Ben is asking that thing as well. Full page effect. Let me go ahead and look for that. I know what you're talking about, though. Let me go to the Webflow forums. Hold on real quick. Full page.js. Alright, I know it's in here because I've seen someone do it. Okay, so I'm searching through the forums. Now, I know there's a way to do full page.js by taking the JavaScript or the jQuery code and inserting it into your Webflow custom code area. As far as making something like full page, where as you do a mouse scroll down, it auto scrolls the page to a certain section that you're calling out. It's kind of like, in my opinion, it's kind of like a PowerPoint effect. Okay, I know who does it well. I mean, it's does Slides do it? Slides.com? Huh. Well, anyways, that is not possible in Webflow. But you can do other things by adding a nav bar on the side, and you can click and it'll go down to that certain section. Okay? What else? I think it's easier to do Interactions 2 stuff where as you scroll down and the element gets into view, then you do animations. I think that's what something you're trying to do, because there's this thing called scroll jacking where you hijack a person's scroll wheel, and that's what full page is kind of doing, because when you scroll, it fires a JavaScript function which makes the page scroll down. But if you're trying to scroll at the same time the page is scrolling, doing that animation scrolling down, you can't, because it disables that scroll wheel. So basically you're hijacking the scroll wheel and you're not giving a smooth effect to the user. Now I know there's people who still like using full page and fullpage.js, and you're more than welcome to do it, but you would have to use custom code to make that happen. Okay? But it is on the forum. I'll need to find it. There's a step-by-step on how to use fullpage.js. And I think it's on show and tell or tutorial. I'll need to find it later. But good question. Alright. TJ, will IX2 be able to edit margins? I don't think it can. Let's go look at what we can play around with. Let me show you my screen real quick. So if I go here, press the plus sign. So this is what you can play around with. Move, scale, rotate, skew, opacity, background color, border color, text color. So these 3 right here are new. And size, hide and show. If I do size, you can play around with the width and height. Okay, you can't play around with the box model, with the paddings and the margins, and yeah. Okay. No, I said it needs margins. What needs margins? That's why we need margins. Not sure what you mean by that. Okay. Yo, hey, what's up, Leroy? Alright, it doesn't seem like there's any links. I guess you guys just want me to keep going. Which I will. I don't mind. This is all fun. Let's see here. Okay. Luke is asking, I'd heard previously that you can add remove class using interactions. Could you show us that? I don't think you can yet. There's this thing right here. Replace elements in animation. Replace with current class. I think this is it right here. So, hold on. Let me not do it here. Let's just see here. What can I do it with? When I scroll into view, replace with a class of... Well, it just keeps going and going and going. So that's something I have to research still. Whoa. I just broke it. I think that's something we're still working on. But great question. So you have all scroll effects, but not scroll to margin when margin reaches okay. So TJ, thank you for bringing that up. So in Interactions 1.0, we have a thing called offset, and this brings up a good point. Let me bring up the Webflow blog. Hold on, webflow.com/blog. Thank you for bringing that up, JC or TJ, JC. Here, Interactions release notes. Okay. So if you scroll down, what's next for Interactions 2.0? So yes, right now you won't be able to apply interactions and animations to symbols, collections list, or elements on a collection page. But this is something our Interactions 2 team is already working on as we speak, okay? Other things we're doing is, of course, performance improvements. We're always working on that. Making it easier to reuse animations. And this is the part you're talking about, scroll offset controls. Right now, you can do a delay, like when your element gets into view, delay it by a second or half a second, and then make the animation happen. But we know that'll be easier to do scroll offset. The scroll offset was in Interaction 1 and still is, so you can use Interaction 1 if you want for the scroll interactions. But right now in Interactions 2, there is no scroll offset. That is something we're working on. And this part right here, Quick Effects Library, that's going to be fun. Because if you're trying to do like a quick zoom in or like a fade up in its opacity 0 to 100 with a move of Y 50 pixels to Y 0 pixels. So stuff like that, we're going to have a quick effect. So it's so much easier to do. So you just click on a quick effect and it's done. Okay? So we're just getting started. All right? Interactions 2 is not done. All right? Let me give you the URL right here. I'll put it in the live chat room. Right. Cool. Okay, we got a webflow.io link. Let's do it. Let me put that on the screen. All right, let's look at what you're doing. Who's doing this? I didn't get the username. Oh, Ellie. Eli. All right. All right. Hover effects. Okay. You got some right here. Nice. This is... just wondering, why is this an image? You would get more SEO juice if this was an image. You can find star icons or star image. You can type this out. You can definitely recreate this using 3 CSS blocks, or just use a France flag image. But yeah, I think whenever an image is mainly text, you should go ahead and make it live text. It'll only help you. But this text gets lost here because the pattern of this is so busy, so this gets kind of lost. But I think there's an easier... Maybe this could be somewhere up here. It's a beautiful photo. What if the photo was cropped or pushed down? Ooh, nice. What if the photo was pushed down a bit more? So like it was cut like right here. Because you already know it's snowing, so you don't really need to have all that snow on the bottom. But if you added more sky, because if the sky is this deep, solid color or very nice gradient, use it to your advantage. And just like you've done already with the text right here in the sky, maybe this could go in the sky as well, and you push down the image. I don't know. Just a thought. Okay. This is nice. You want to make sure that you don't have a horizontal scroll. It makes it look weird. So instead of, I think you have it as overflow scroll, overflow set to scroll. Set it to auto. Auto will only be up and down, but scroll has up and down and left and right, even if you don't have anything scrolling left and right. Okay. Nice, nice. Oh, okay, so this row, your hero row and your second row, it's okay. But this one right here with the glassy blur type of thing, this really stands out. I really like this row. And then we have this. So is this clickable? Okay, so not many people will probably click on this. So why not make this whole box clickable instead of just this? Gives users more of a chance to click on something for maps, for directions. Okay. And lastly, some sort of intro paragraph to explain why you need their information. I know it says inquire right here, but something to the effect of, hey, if you're interested in having a vacation here, put your data below, and don't forget, we're not going to spam you, we're not going to sell your information. You want to give them clear direction to make sure that people know where their information is going. It's not going to be sold and whatnot, okay? So just because you put a form doesn't mean people are going to put it in. You give them more of a welcoming feel and make them feel safe by adding copy to tell them, hey, it's going to be fine. You know, we're not going to spam you. All right. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. So someone made a sticky on scroll in Interactions 1. And I forgot who did it. It was shown on the Webflow forums. But let me show you real quick. Without custom code. And you can clone this too if you want. That is smooth. So what did he do? And I was quickly scanning this, and I was like, oh, that's nifty. So, this is actually this one right here is actually 2 elements, okay? So this element is opacity 100, and then as you scroll down, it becomes opacity 0, but another element in its same position goes from 0 to 100% opacity in 0 milliseconds. And so it looks like it's the same element, but it's not. He doubled the elements. So pretty nifty. Pretty nifty. Okay? Nicely done. So check it out. It's sticky on scroll.webflow.io. Clone that. Have fun. Let me see. Do we have a name? Duncan Hamra did that. Great job, Duncan. All right. Chris, if building a sticky nav that shows after scrolling, where would you start? Building a sticky nav that shows after scrolling. Okay. I think this is what you're talking about. So like that. So you would have 2 nav bars, and then one would, just do the same thing like this. Unless you're talking about something else where I scroll down the page. So let's go ahead and add a new one. So call it nav. We'll put a div block, and this div block will be something like 5,000 pixels tall. And let's go ahead and drag in a nav bar, and this nav bar will be sticky, so set to fixed on top. Yeah, so let's do that. On current page scrolled, okay? When the page is scrolled up, I want to see the nav bar. So let's do this and say show nav, and this will move the nav bar to 0%. Okay, and let's close that out, go back to page scrolled, and add a scroll down animation and hide nav, and I'm going to move this on the Y to negative 100%. Okay, so that's gone. And so wait, did I have it on fixed? Put this here. Nav bar, fixed. Yeah, it's set to fix. And so it should show up every... Yeah. Oh, okay. I have it set to the div block, not the nav bar. My bad. Let's fix that. Show nav, hide nav, delete that. Okay, let's start again. Sorry. So page scrolled, show nav. So I'm gonna move. So to show nav, I'm gonna move 0%. Right. Close this out and hide nav. That goes to move negative 100%. There we go. And lastly, let's go ahead and make this transform move negative 100%. So it's initially like that, so we don't see it. So it's gone, but if I scroll up, see where my nav bar is right here in the middle of the page. So if I scroll up, it shows. Scroll down, it goes away. When you make that more apparent and just make this big div block, scroller div, make this thing have a huge gradient. So if I scroll down, okay, makes sense. So it starts off black at the top. Makes sense? Cool? Easy? Yeah. All right. Dan is asking, will milliseconds ever be supported for delay and duration value? So we have it as seconds right now. Go here. Good question. Milliseconds. Can I do 500 ms? No, you cannot. All right, so everything is all in seconds now. So it'll be like 0.1 second for something faster. So just, whoa, jeez. So something like that. Okay. Good question. Anything else before I move on? Anything else? Let's go back here. So yeah, this is all just crazy messy, but it's fun. All right. Let's continue. All right. What have we not played around with yet? Let's see here. Let's do something with this bar. Red stuff wrapper. Let's see here. Have a rotate of 87. What have we not done? Oh, let's do mouse over element. Okay, we've already done mouse over element with the center. Scroll into view, we've done it for that. While scrolling in view. So it's the same thing as while page is scrolling, but this is only if this element is in view, okay? Oh, great, TJ, great question. When is the entry? Let me talk about that real quick. So, again, go to ix2entry.webflow.io. Your entries are due by Thursday night. And this Friday, I'm going to be showing off all the entries, showing off all the entries, and then announcing the winners of the free Webflow for 6 months, and also the swag boxes. All right, so you can get some Webflow shirts and stickers. So again, ix2entry.webflow.io. Go crazy. Make a menu interaction. Make a page loader interaction. Make a parallax scrolling interaction or mouse movement interaction. Do something crazy. Blow our minds. Learn something fun. All right, so go ahead and do that. All right, back on it. While scrolling into view. Alright, so this red stuff wrapper, I'm going to play on scroll. So, when the element starts entering, okay, what's going to happen? Okay, let's add a new one. Red bars. At 0%, so 0% is right here, okay? See how it's just right there? And then 100% is going to be right here at the very bottom of that div. Okay, so what happens while all that's happening? So let's go ahead and rotate. And this rotate is that barn door thing. We'll start here. And then 100%, we'll go to here. And that's it. So if I scroll, do you see it moving? That's it. Let's get more crazy with it. Let me get this red bar right here. And I'm going to add a size. Okay, so at 0%, the height is going to be 0%. Oh, I don't want the live preview. There, at 0%, I want it to be... There we go. I want it to be 0%. Like that. Okay? And then at 100%, I want the height to be 100% as well. So that way we get this growing bar. Let's make this stuff happen earlier. Let's make it happen at like 50%. There you go. Let's try it out. You know what? No. Let's make that 100%, but make these start later. Yeah, there we go. Hey, how come I can't go past that? Yeah, something like that. Leroy says, "IXC just gave me a reason to live again. You are appreciated." That it's the team, man. It's the whole team that made this happen. Yeah. Glad you have a new reason to live, but yeah, have fun. So that's all the scroll interaction triggers that you can play around with. There's also things you can do with let me go back here. There's also things you can do with the tabs. I think there's a tabs thing. Go right here. Is it tabs or slider? Let me go find a slider. I know there's a slider. I played around with it. There we go. So if I'm on I bring in a slider and I have a slide 1. I click on the first slide, and then here we go. Slider. Animate when slide is in view or out of view. Okay? And there we go. So you can play around with those. And I think there's ones on the nav bar too. If I click on the nav bar, yep, right here. Nav bar. What happens when the menu opens? What happens when it closes? So yeah, when you select on a component element, you get that extra option on the selected element. Okay? And again, you can learn more of the basics of Interactions 2 at university.webflow.com. So many videos. Have fun watching them. Learn as much as you can. And if you make something with Webflow Interactions 2, please use the hashtag WebflowIX2 so we can retweet it out to everyone else and, you know, just show your work off to the world, because what everyone is doing already is beautiful. So yeah, it's already blowing my mind. I know Aaron, he was on the last stream, and he saw my cube, my basic cube, and then he made a deck of cards rotate, and it's just magic. It's just magic. All right. Yeah. So, any other questions about Interactions 2, Webflow, web design? You're working on anything else? I know we went through this very quickly. And again, I will go ahead and let you guys clone this. And while I'm waiting for those, again, quick reminder, this Friday on the live stream, twitch.tv/Webflow app, I'm going to be showing off what you guys have made in IX2, announcing the winners, and also just if you want to be on the hot seat and talk to the community on the live stream, get on it. Get on it. All right. Anything else I'm missing? Looking through my notes. I think we're good. Donald is asking, how can we perform the animation under the random title on Webflow Blog? Oh, yeah, that's cool. I need to look into this. Maybe I can break it down in my head right now. Let's see here. I'm thinking, hold on. It has to be that this right here is a fixed background. Okay, so that's obvious. Oh, yeah, I got it. Okay, I got it in my head. I think I got it. Let's try it. Live demo. There we go. Let's take away our slider. I need an image. Let's see here. Let's go to a different project. Let's just go to one I know that I have like these big images from one of our templates. Here we go, CMS demo. Let me pull this up. Okay, so let's do something like this, untitled. Okay, Cool. Let's make this container have like 250 on the top for no reason. Let me put a div block, and this div block is going to be cool image, and the height's going to be like 500, and then the border radius is going to be like 20, and the background is going to be, choose image and just use, yay, teamwork. Make that set to cover, and also set it to fixed, and center that, and then let's this cool image, let's make something crazy like 2500, and there you go. I've already done it. So simple breakdown, it's just a div with a background image set to fixed, and then the border radius is like something like 20. So you don't even need interactions for that one. That's just CSS. If you go here, yep. All right. TJ, hey everybody. Hey, body question on reason. Any reason onload is reserved in data. Oh, okay. So there's a couple of things that we reserve when it comes to custom attributes. So if I go here and add a custom attribute, what you're trying to do is onload. So there's a couple of things that we have it reserved, but you can still add it as a custom. If you add it to your custom code, I think it'll work, like using jQuery to add an attribute. But I'll have to ask the team why onload is reserved. But great question. Welcome, Hugo. I got Animations 2.0 today. Haven't played with it yet, though. When you play with it, hopefully you have a couple hours blocked out for your day, because it's going to be really fun. You'll get kind of addicted to what you can do with it, and it'll make your mind go, oh, if this does this, what else can I do? All right? So one site that I saw, here's a couple of old sites that I saw a while back, and I was like, oh man, I wish I could do that, but I know I can't, because I have to code it up. You know, I have to code up this parallax scrolling stuff, and it's just going to be too hard. But now, if you just stare at this kind of stuff and then break it down in your head, it's like, you know what? That's easy. So that whole parallax scrolling stuff, it's just a couple of layers on top of each other that move at different timings. Easy. Easy. Alright, what else? Made by Few. This is an old site. And so again, easy. Easy stuff. But here, this one is crazy. Crazy stuff. SpaceNeedle.com. So this one, you're supposed to scroll up instead of down. It makes you feel like you're going up the space. Oh, it's broken. No, their site's broken. Why? It's so good. I was looking at it the other day. What? Aww. Oh, sad times. So it works now, but watch when I go up. Ah. Oh man, but that's the site I'm talking about. That's really cool. And I think there's one more that uses parallax. Garden Studio. I remember when I first saw this, I think a year ago or something. I was like, what? It's amazing. And now it's like, oh, okay, that's simple. So that's a page load effect. Okay. So we have a preloader, and then finish preloader is zoom out from with these trees, and then you can do parallax. And parallax again down here. And I don't think you can do the little swirly lines, but you can do the straight lines. Here's that site if you want to take a look. JG Hunter says you have to click on the arrows. Do I? It's not supposed to be black, but yeah, it doesn't work for me. I don't know why. Oh darn. Hugo, Interactions 2.0 is not in beta. It is out today. You can play around with it. All you gotta do is log into your Webflow, go into the designer tool and click on that lightning bolt. It is live for everyone. Okay. Alright. Doesn't seem any more questions or links for me to review, and totally fine. I totally understand why. You guys are busy playing around with Interactions 2 by now. So go at it. I want to see you guys this Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/Webflow app. Okay, let me put the link in the chat room right now. Twitch.tv/Webflow app. I'm going to announce the winners and show off what you guys have built thus far with IX2. And I will see you next week at this stream. Let me do my... There we go. I will see you guys next week at Tuesday at 10 a.m. for our regular Webflow workshop streams. And if you want some Webflow shirts, please go ix2 entry.webflow.io, put your entry there, and we might send you one. What else? So let's do our usual sign off. So if you need any account billing or technical questions answered, please go to university.webflow.com/contact, and the support team will help you out as fast as we can. If you have any design or custom code issues, please go to forum.webflow.com, and our wonderful, global, awesome community there will help you out. And if you get your question answered, please pass that favor forward and answer someone else's question so we can all grow together. You can find us on Twitter at Webflow app, or on Instagram at Webflow app, facebook.com/Webflow. You can find me on Twitter at The Pixel Geek. Yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you guys so much. Have fun with IX2. And with IX2, I think it's easier to do what I've been asking you all to do from day one. Make the web beautiful. See ya.